Hey, welcome. I'm Tom Sinclair, that chief streaming idiot, back with another. Today we're live. Well, I guess we're live most days, but we're here watching and trying to make all this cool stuff work. You know, it's fun. The more bells and whistles that softwares get, the more stuff you want to try. And the more complicated things get, the easier they are to break. If you don't get anything, remember that. As simple as you can keep it, simple is much more bulletproof and a heck of a lot easier to troubleshoot. So, I'm your one guy, one PC, one awesome broadcast person. And I really do think you can do it with the way PCs are today, the power that's getting into the i7s. What is it? You can get an i7 quad core now that comes stock at 4 gigahertz. Holy cow. And a 6 core is, I was going to say it was a good dinner, but it would be a lot of good dinners because it's, 350, 375, something like that. Very reasonable, or maybe 400, 4.25, somewhere in that range. Anyway, we have never been in as good a place as we are today in terms of the hardware that's available to the common guy to do all sorts of streaming and recording of whatever our passion might be. Lucky for you, maybe. My passion is this whole process. I love it. I love tinkering with it and figuring it out and putting it together and then showing you how to use it. And today I've just been in the pre-show, the pre-show. I was having all sorts of fun figuring out. Today we're actually not today. Today's Wednesday. So Monday, the vMix 16 was released, and it's got some really cool toys in it that I've played with today. And I haven't played with to the point of perfection, which is kind of fun because you can watch me kind of fumble my way through it. But we're going to look at a couple of features in that today. We're going to look at the merge feature, which I think is really cool. In fact, why don't we start out with that one? And so let's see here. If we had a shot, if I was doing an interview with somebody, and here's my interview. the real me's on the left. Actually, the real me may be on the right. And you know how in CNN when they've got some talking heads and then they want to focus on one person, they just sort of blow that one guy up. Well, there's a new feature in vMix. It's a transition called merge that will take whatever's in preview and put it in program. So I've got in preview right now, I've got this shot, and I'll cut straight to it. This is the shot I have in preview. And I would show you what my window looks like, but if I did, it would blow off to infinity and you never would get it. So just trust me. This is what's going to be in preview, and this is what's going to be in program. And now I'm going to switch the two using the merge feature, and suddenly I'm able to pop that person in and focus in on them. And if I want to go back to the group shot, and then I'm going to queue up, the guy over there, and make him, kind of our main speaker, he's going to pop in as the merge shot because this shot right here was in preview just a second ago. Now, I'm sure it's got some tweaks on it that it needs to work on, but I think it is going to be a lot of fun, and I think we'll see that it will be a feature that a lot of people are use, especially in an interview format. I think that's where it really shines, where you've got the ability to take that broad shot and then take it down to a small shot. You want to see it again? Okay, we're going to do it again. So we're going to go back to the interview. And, I should have set up a recording, and that way I could have talked with myself instead of just two of me at the same time. And while this is in program, I'm going to switch preview, and I'll flip it over to this shot. This is going to be my preview shot. So when I hit the merge key, it takes that window, and it blows it up. And I can merge back to my double shot as my program shot, and now this shot is in program. And so when I hit merge, it brings that shot back to the beginning. I think that's pretty cool. I like that. And that's a feature request that I've seen on the VidBlaster forum, and apparently was on the vMix forum too. So we got something cool there to show off. That's pretty neat. I tell you what else I'm having a blast with is, let's see what the merge does when I take this shot. Okay, it's just a fade kind of transition. I'm having a blast with this PTZ cam, and I'm realizing I think you see a little thing on the lens right there. Anyway, I need to get a little lens cloth and take care of that one. But I've got the remote control here, so I can go to my different shots that I've sort of pre-set up here. Let's go to the shot number 1. That's shot number 1. That's the Korg NanoKontrol, and we're going to talk about this. It's a MIDI device, plugs in USB. We'll talk about this in just a second. And then I've also got this shot, which is the Magewell. It's the USB 3 capture box that has 2 ports of high definition video inputs. You can see I've got 2 HDMIs on it now, but I could also have 2 components or one component, one HDMI. And you can use one of those components to bring in a composite shot if you wanted to too. So it's a 2-port capture device. It's about $1,100, so it's a little pricey, but I think there's a great market for it. And I think the great market is if you are in a mobile setup where you maybe like a basketball game or a baseball game or a football game or a city council meeting or someplace where you're just showing up and you've got time to set up a couple cams and you're going to plug in your laptop, you can plug in USB 3, you can pick up 2 ports of high definition video on that box. And in our store soon, we will be bundling that with vMix so that you can get kind of a complete solution if you have a laptop, probably an i5 or better, that will do USB 3. It has to be USB 3. And for those of you that have a laptop that has a mini display port, a Thunderbolt port, we will be bringing to market soon, we hope, that same kind of thing where you'll have 2 ports up to 4 ports of high definition capture that'll plug in to a mini display port, a Thunderbolt port. So for those of you that have got the I guess it's an Asus line of laptops in the Sanger line, or is it Sager, S-A-G-E-R, that have the Thunderbolt inputs, those will work well for you, and you can take up to 4 high-definition inputs on that. So that's going to be pretty cool. But that's the Magewell USB 3. That's got to go back to Magewell soon. It's here on loan. So that's the parting shot on that one, and then we'll have to go back to other devices to figure out how to make it work so that you can see this pretty face. I've rearranged my tabletop desktop here today. I don't know that I've got a shot of it. Let's look at the available shots and see if I've got anything that looks like my desktop. Really don't. And I've moved my monitors in order to be able to look over and give you this shot and give you this shot. So if I keep looking off to the side, it's because I'm trying to figure out where I am in everything that's going on. Okay, back to the subject at hand. That was the merge function that we looked at just a second ago, and brand new to vMix 16 is the MIDI control, MIDI. That's that music interface thingy. I know it's high-tech terms. You got to hang in there with me. Write them down. THINGIE, thingy. Everybody thinks it has a Y on it, but it's really IE. The MIDI. So you can plug in any MIDI device you want to into your computer, and as long as Windows will recognize it, that is, you have the right driver, then you can use that to control vMix. And the Korg NanoKontrol is one that I've had sitting around here in the studio probably a couple of years now. This is the first version. This is not the Korg NanoKontrol 2. And there are lots of different devices like this out there. There's the Novation Launchpad and the other ones in the Novation line. But I picked this one out because I had it on hand. It's here. They said half a success is just showing up. So this guy showed up. And I have pre-programmed him with a couple of, as you can see from this very well done diagram, a couple of shots and a couple of functions so that it's easy for it to do its job. For example, I can have my really super cool vMix, not vMix, my super cool Streaming Idiots music controlled here, and I can turn it on here. I can raise the volume here. Yep, can you hear that? I can't hear that. Yeah, you can hear it. And I can turn it off there. So off, on, volume control. And then I can restart it by just running this knob back to the beginning so that when I turn it on again, it starts at the beginning of the song. And we can give it a little volume, take the volume away. And you probably want to know, how did you do that? How in the world did you get that little controller to do that? Well, in vMix, it's the power of the shortcut. If you're coming from other software, you might understand macro or API or hotkeys or something like that. But basically, in vMix, you have the ability, and let's see if I can show you here on the screen. You have the ability to have all of the functions of vMix sort of pre-programmed for you. This is essentially its API. So we can scroll through the API, and you can see page after page of commands that are available. Once you get into the R's for replay, there are bunches of them. And yeah, here we are into the replays. And that's it. That's the list. And so you can select from that list, and in that list have the ability to control vMix. So let me get up a screenshot here so you can see my desktop. Now, keep in mind the top right window over there, over there is going to go off to infinity because it's showing you what it's showing you, what it's showing you, what it's showing you. So pay attention to me over here with the one with the orange border at the top. I'm the preview window. Below me are the inputs, and this is going to be video and audio. It's going to be pictures. It's going to be anything that you want to bring in to your broadcast. It's going to be right down here. Over there is going to be just the audio mixer. Can't really reach it. It's over there. You can see the volume meter going up and down in the bottom right-hand corner. That's the main. Actually, that's my microphone. So what I want to do is tell vMix what to do with stuff. So to do that, I'm going to go into the top right-hand corner to the Settings menu, and that'll pop up a window. And you can see on the Settings menu in the bottom left-hand corner is the Shortcuts command. So we'll go to the Shortcut menu, and you can see I've got a bunch of shortcuts already set up. But let's set up a new one just so you can get a feel for it, because this MIDI thing is really cool. Let's go to Add, and so we're going to start from scratch. And here at the top, it allows us to set up any number of keys on the keyboard that are predefined, number pad, all sorts of other little things like that. But we're not going to use any of those keys. What we're going to do is we're going to tell it to find on our MIDI control. So it says press a button on the keyboard or controller. So I'm going to pick my second channel here on this one, the bottom left button, as the button I want to use. And when I press it, it records the MIDI controlled channel, channel 1, note 77, velocity 0. velocity, keep in mind, we'll come back to that in just a second. So it's channel 1, note 77. Okay, so we've identified what the button is on the keyboard. Now what do we want it to do? Well, in this case, we want it to, let's say we want it to play audio. So we're going to come down here to the play command, and we're going to tell it play. So our function is to play. What do we want it to play? Do we want it to play a video? Do we want it to play an audio? What do we want to play? Well, in this case, we're going to play our theme music, and this picks this list that when I clicked the preview, which is just preview, is just one of the choices, but I click this drop down here, and I have a choice of every input that I've selected. I'm going to use, where is it, right here, Fresh and Fun MP3 22. Well, Fresh and Fun is an MP3 that it's my music, and 22 happens to be its input number for the moment. So we've got it there, and that's all I want to do at this point. So we've got MIDI control, channel 1, note 77, and I didn't look that up. I just clicked find, and it found it all by itself. So I'm going to say OK, and now it's added it down here at the bottom for MIDI control, channel 177, and let's say OK here. So when I press that button on the controller, that's going to be this button right here, we should play music. Let's find out if it works. Well, if it works, it doesn't have enough volume. Let's see, let's find the volume control. Bring it up a little bit. There you go, you can hear it. All right, I'm going to use this other one just to turn it off because I've already got that one programmed. But what I did was I selected this button right here as the on. I'm going to come back and program it to select this button as the off, and then we're going to select this slider to control the volume, and then we're going to select the knob to rewind it back to the beginning. So we've got the on, now we need an off. So let's go back to the main window here where we can see everything. We're going to go back to settings in the top right hand corner, and we are going to choose shortcuts in the bottom left corner here, and this is all the shortcuts that we've got so far. We're going to go to add. We're going to tell it we want it to find a button. We don't have to know what button it is. We don't have to know what the location or the serial number or the model number or anything about the button. We just want it to find the button, and I'm going to press that up button, that top button there, and it's channel 1, note 68. The numbers don't mean anything to me, so we're out of luck there. All right, and our function is going to be, and let's just tell it we want to pause our play. So play pause would be the choice right there. Play pause, and we want it to play pause the Fresh and Fun MP3 input number 22. So we've got that there, and let's see if we can turn it on, and now we can turn it off. How about that? We're getting pretty good. But if we start it again, we started right where we left off. So it just starts and stops, starts and stops, starts and stops. So let's make it go back to the beginning. So let's go back to settings. We're going to go to shortcuts. We're going to go to add. We're going to go to find. And I'm going to twist the little knob there at the top. You can't really see because all the windows are holding it up. But as I twist the knob back and forth, you can see the velocity numbers changing. But really, it's note 58 is the little knob. And I'll show you what the knob looks like in just a second. We've got that. Oops, it didn't like that one. Okay, let's go back and find out what it didn't like. Oh, we didn't give it a function. Okay, so here we're going to go to audio, I believe, is what it's going to be. Audio. What was it? It was a volume control of some kind. Set volume, maybe? Set master volume? No. There we go. Set volume. Bingo. So the function is set volume. The input, again, is going to be our, where is it? Our little music there. Fresh and Fun MP3. Okay, so that should accept that one. Okay. So now, let's go back to this shot. So now I can start it. I can stop it. I can rewind it. And let's see if it gets rewound. Did I do that right? Maybe I didn't, because I can't hear it. Let me turn it on where I can hear it. Fresh and Fun. Where is Fresh and Fun? There it is. So let's try again. Nope, somehow we disabled something. Let's see if it works on this one. Oh, you know what? Let's turn it off. We'll turn it back on here. There we go. I've set it up on channel 1, and I'm setting it up again on channel 2, so I think the controller's becoming a little confused. So let's turn it off. We're going to leave the audio volume about where it was. So now when I take number 2 and just turn it back to the left as I start it, it doesn't want to start at the beginning, does it? How about that? Maybe it doesn't like the fact that it's got 2 controls for the same thing. Well, that's what I get for not testing. Alright, there we go. I just didn't have the volume control up far enough here on channel 1. I should have scrubbed channel 1, my bad. Okay, so we're going to start, and we can pause, and then we can reset it back to the beginning and start again. You know what? It does not like, let's take out channel 1. Just take it out altogether, and I'll show you how to do that. Shortcuts, and we're going to find Fresh and Fun Play. We're going to take that one out. So we're going to remove it. And Fresh and Fun Play Pause. We're going to take that out. We're going to remove it. And Set Volume, Fresh and Fun. We're going to remove it. And Fresh and Fun Restart. We're going to remove it. So we should just have 77, 68, and 58 are the ones that we've set up. So let's see how it does now. So we'll start, stop, rewind, start again. Our start button is not working, is it? Well, let's go ahead and put the volume button in there. And maybe that's where we're having some troubles here. I think the last time when I set it up, I set up the volume as the third one, and I skipped it this time. So let's go to Shortcuts, Add, and we're going to find the key, and in this case it's going to be that slider. So it's going to have a velocity from 0 to 127. We'll say OK. The function is going to be audio volume. And is that how it works? Is it audio volume? No, don't see. I'll have to go through here. I should have written down what they were. It's going to be a volume control. That's the key, is volume. It's not a replay. Set, here we go, set volume. Set volume. Okay, so the function is to set volume, and we'll tell it we want to use, again, our Fresh and Fun MP3. Close out. So if we've done this right, we should be able to start. Might be a little bug there. We'll have to see. We can stop. We can restart it. It doesn't want to restart. Look at that. That's got assigned volume. I bet I screwed that up. Let's go back and find out. Let's pause it. We'll go back into settings. Oh, this is fun when I make a mistake like this. Yep, looks like I've got 2 set volumes, doesn't it? Okay, so let's take that one out. That was the knob. And we're going to add another one back. And we're going to find the knob. So that's the knob. Oh, you can't see. I forgot to put you up on the window. Hold on. Let's just cancel out of that. And let's switch back there. Okay, so we're going to go to settings. We're going to go to shortcuts. We're going to go to, we got a set volume here that we don't need. I wonder, can we just modify this one? Yeah, there we go. So we're going to change the volume, the function from set volume to, we want it really to rewind or restart or something like that. So let's see if there's an audio. Master audio, set balance, set gain, set channel, set volume, solo off. Let's go back to our all tab here. Somehow it's not showing up. And I think we want like a restart or a reset. So let's see if there's a restart. There we go, restart. So now button number 58, which is that knob, is going to restart our music. If I click OK, and let's put it back on the controls. So this should be start, this should be pause, this should be volume, and this should be restart at the beginning. So let's turn that one up, turn that one on. That works. Let's see if we can stop it. Okay. Now I'm going to just take the knob and run it all the way back to the left, and we'll start again. And yay, it starts at the beginning. So we've got a start, a stop. Did I restart it with the button? Let's see. Look at that. So the same button will start and stop. I didn't intend to do that. Doesn't work for that one. Just for that one. So I can start it and stop it with that button. That's even better. That makes more sense, doesn't it? So let's rewind it here. Actually, then I could use this button for rewind. So let's change that. We're going to change this button to a rewind button. And then the knob, I don't know, maybe the knob, we can get the knob to pan left and right or something like that. So let's go back to this button, and this button is going to be the restart button. So we will go to settings, shortcuts, and then currently the one that says play, oh, it's play pause, that's why. So we're gonna double click that one, and we want that one to be a function that's restart. So let's see if that's if restart, there we go, restart. Okay, so if we did all that right, we should have start, stop, restart, or go back to the beginning. And now we should start at the beginning by pressing this button. Volume control. Stop. Go back to the beginning. Start again. Go back to the beginning. Boy, that's annoying. Okay, now let's see if we can get some sort of pan control out of this one. I don't know if that's even a function. I haven't looked at this, so we're in uncharted territory here. So come along with me as we make idiots of all of us. So we're going to add a new, do we have to? let's see, we got 2 restart, I think 58. What was 58? We don't know. Let's go find out. Which one is the knob? The knob is 58. Okay. So we're going to cancel out of that. We're going to come back up here and we're going to edit 58 and not make it restart anymore. We want it to be audio. And see if we've got audio pan. Off, on, set balance, set volume, set gain, set channel, set master volume, solo, solo on, solo off. Well, what about input? Do we have a pan control there? Play, pause. Pan would be alphabetical. It's not there. Well, let's go to all and see if there's a pan control at all. We may have outsmarted ourselves. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a pan control. And left, maybe they're calling it like left-right. Let's see if there's a left-right. Well, I don't see a left. If there's not a left, there's probably not a right. Nope. So if it's there, it's not named something that makes sense to me. I'll, set X pan, set Y pan, set pan X. Oh, that's for cropping video. I don't think that would work the same way. We could turn the solo offer on. But doesn't look like we're going to be able to make that do anything we want it to do. So let's just, avoid confusion, let's just take it out altogether. There we go. So we've got 3 shortcuts now that involve Fresh and Fun MP3, input number 22. And they are the ability to start it, control the volume, stop it, rewind it, start it again. Now, one of the things that I did find, I'll turn this sideways so that you can see, is that most of the control in this control is here in about the top 50%, because once we get about halfway down, the volume's down. And then as we get 2/3 of the way down, the volume decreases. And then the volume, it's really gone right there. And we've got about 25% of that slider left. So I don't know if that's this control or if it's the software or what. Or maybe you could just hear differently than what I hear. So anyway, so that was fun. So we can do that here. Now, we can also use this guy. We can use the sliders for all sorts of things, but we can also use the buttons just to do some quick work. I've got these 2 buttons. This is channel 8, and channel 8 is set to go to the main shot, just as a quick cut. And that was the up button on channel 8. That was the up button here. And then the down button on channel 8 sets to go to this same shot, the PTZ shot. So when I press it, nothing happens. So I have to go away from it and then come back to it by pressing this button. I'm wondering if if this would work as a transition, kind of like a T-bar. I don't want to spend all your time going into that one, because it may not it may not get anywhere. So we'll play with that some more another time. But I think you've got the hang of how easy it is and we'll just go back to this shot for just a second. How easy it is to go to settings, to go to shortcuts, to go to add, and then the key is with the MIDI control is the Find button up here. You can see it changing color from white to light blue. Find, and now I can press any button on the keyboard. If I want to press different buttons until I find the one I want, I can continue to do that. Different sliders, I can continue to find whatever I want to. Yeah, it looks like the knobs at the top will go from 0 to 127, and the sliders go from 0 to 127. So the knobs and the sliders, at least on this particular control, seem to have the same function. Let's cancel out of that, and we'll go back to this shot. So we've got the same function here as we do here. Oh, and it's still playing. How about that? Maybe we ought to pause it. There we go. Now we can turn it up all we want to. And in real life, this button is not flashing. If it is, it's flashing too fast for me to see. The way this control is set up, ooh, it's got these nice play, pause, record buttons over here. That would be nice to set up, wouldn't it? So that you could just tell it to record whatever you're recording by pressing one button. Should we try that? Nah, we're about out of town. But the scene button is what I was going to tell you about right here. I've got four different choices for scenes, and so that sets this board up 4 different ways. So if I were doing 4 different shows, I could, depending on the show, set up 4 different scenes, and so that each one of these functions would have each one of these keys would have a different function depending on the show that I was showing at the time. So we're going to use the keyboard, and we're going to push the up 8, which I think will take us back here. Yay! All right. How about that? So that's the new MIDI control feature in vMix. Now it opens up a whole wide world of control possibilities. And what's really interesting is, in some ways, it kind of undermines the multi-$1,000 control surface that got developed for vMix. You know, I feel kind of sorry for the guys that did that, because now you can pick out any control surface that has the kinds of functions on it that you want, whether they're knobs or T-bars or, you know, jog shuttles. vMix is already set to work. It's already pre-programmed to work with the Contour Shuttle Pro version 2, V2. We'll probably explore that again another time. We've got, we've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 buttons, and then a wheel, and then a spinner in the middle. So there are all sorts of great possibilities there. And these are consumer priced items. I think the shuttle was maybe $100. The NanoKontrol, back when I bought it, was probably $60. I mean, it wasn't very expensive. So, you know, take some time, play with it, have some fun with it, make vMix do what you want it to do, pressing one button. Next week, we'll show you how to control vMix from your phone, which ought to be a lot of fun. Or you can control it from your iPad or from, you know, virtually any device that's on the same network that you're on. So we'll be looking some more at that. And then we may have some other fun stuff to show off too. So we have exceeded our time. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep these shows to 30 minutes. If you're watching us on YouTube, please, and you made it this far in the show, please subscribe. Again, full disclosure, and I probably should have pointed this out at the show, I am an authorized reseller for vMix, and I was thinking Magewell, because I'm also an authorized reseller for Magewell and for the PTZ cam that we were showing off earlier. The Korg NanoKontrols you can buy. I think you can even get them at Best Buy. If not, certainly you can find them at Amazon or online somewhere pretty easily. And then, you know, it's going to be interesting. Again, if you found a MIDI control that's got some interesting features to it, shoot me a note, send me a picture. I would love to see it. In fact, you know, maybe we can show it off on the show. Coming up in future shows, we've got still working on the great Church Broadcasters Roundtable, where we'll be talking about different ways that we're doing broadcasting in our churches. That's going to be a lot of fun. I've got some exciting guests coming on. We've got the live to air product that we want to get in here. That's where you can take 4 Skype guests and bring them in, put them in a virtual green room, and then bring them into the show as you need to. And then we've got some more Magewell cards to review as time goes on. And then, of course, our DisplayPort, not DisplayPort, Thunderbolt input device we will keep you up to date on. And, of course, we've already got the one for Magewell for USB 3. So if you're looking to put together a system, and you've already got some of the piece parts, maybe you've already got cameras, but you need an input device, or maybe you've already got a computer, but you need a capture card, or maybe you've got computers and a capture card, but you're looking for a PTZ cam. I think we can help you with those different scenarios and try to help you match up with the stuff that's going to be successful for you right off the bat. How many times have I talked to folks that, they've spent a lot of money, but they really didn't have a plan and they didn't understand how things would work together. So, save yourself some time and trouble. Give me a call, shoot me an email, tom@easternshorebroadcasting.com. I'd be delighted to help. If you're watching us live, please do stay on after the show, because we're going to have a little discussion. And I suspect the guys in the chat room are going to tell me all the times I've screwed up, but that's okay. That's how we learn. Making mistakes is how we learn. But you don't want to learn during the middle of a broadcast, except on this broadcast. This is the one where it's okay to do that. But I'm Tom Sinclair. We're going to queue up our show close into the preview window, so you can't see it, but it's previewed. It's set up over there, so that when I hit this button right here on the screen, it will close out the show. So it's been a delight to have you with me today. Thank you for taking time out, and I hope you got something good out of it. Anyway, we'll talk soon. Take care. And there the audio turned itself off. So you could just have to listen to me hum during this. Dum da dum da dum 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 dum. Or maybe we can just give you a little audio with it.